I looked down on that which was once filled with life. The limp body no longer protests as I finally remove my arm from its maw. I take a long look at my bloodied arm. My school uniform has been torn to shreds, but the gouges in my flesh aren't even a centimeter deep. The deluge of blood dripping down my arm earlier must have belonged to the dog. It doesn't even hurt that badly anymore. My fear must have clouded my mind and amplified the pain in the heat of the moment. Our brain can do crazy things. I'm still lying down on the floor, staring at the ceiling. My head hurts so much. My world is a patchwork stitched together by these lines of death. Though my limbs are freezing cold, my mind is spinning with a fever. The corpses of the two dogs are right beside me. One of my arms is covered in blood, while the other still clutches the reddened knife. Beneath this floor are the mangled and charred corpses of the victims that died in the pandemonium. And there's nothing I can do but laugh. Because this isn't real. It can't possibly be real. I'm normal. Totally normal. The only weird thing here is this dream. The second I wake up, it'll all go away. But when did I start dreaming with my eyes open? Oh, the elevator. We've got another visitor, don't we? The elevator chimes. Such a cute, clear noise, entirely inappropriate for the current situation. It's the elevator adjacent to the one that brought the dogs. My exhausted brain doesn't even try to contemplate what this means. The doors open. My mind might not be working, but my body will have to. In a dull haze, I grip the knife in my right hand and haul myself up to face the oncoming tragedy. I don't want to do this. I warily gaze inside of the newly arrived elevator. Inside it is... It's completely empty. A bit of an anticlimax in its own way. No, that increases the questions. The danger has passed. Everything's over. And I've already gotten a grasp of the situation on the lower floors, which means there's no reason for me to stick around here. I turn to leave when... I hear a woman's voice. She sounds so desperate, it almost seems out of touch with reality. Her pleading screams grow in volume, accompanied by panicked footfalls. There's no mistaking it. It must be a survivor, out of breath as she frantically works her way up the stairwell next to the elevators. She sounds relieved, but she doesn't slow her pace. Within moments I can see her, spilling from the stairwell and into the hallway. Oh, you don't have a sprite, you're about to die. She starts running again as she takes note of me. Her expression, overcast and pale with fear, is lit up by a flash of joy as her eyes focus on me. A white-gloved hand seizes her, ripping her from salvation and back into hell. I mean, there was a person in that camera feed. Still watching me, the woman begs for help. What do you want us to do? Whoa. Now that's a vampire right there. And then she falls silent. No resistance, no constraints that bind her. The second she's grabbed, she loses consciousness, as if this were a dream and she was snapped awake, leaving only her body behind. Stop. Stop this at once. That woman. She has nothing to do with this. She's just a sweet and innocent girl. Preying on her is... Nah, it's too late. She dead. My cries come too late. Not that they would have changed anything. My eyes are fixated on the woman's neck. Starry orbs of light flicker and scatter within my vision. Rage like never before boils in my chest. My vision clears and I see two soulless pits amid a deluge of blood. The woman's legs twitch ever so slightly, her fingers jolting reflexively. I hate that sound. All emotion, all life drains from her face. It has to be the first time I've seen it happen, but I don't need to be familiar with the sight to comprehend the horrific spectacle in front of me. The drinking and gulping of the monster is almost unnaturally loud against the otherwise silent hallway. I mean, blood does move very quickly through us, so when it's had its fill, the monster discards her body without a second thought. Her body wavers, frail like a withered tree, a ballerina tiptoeing the fine line between life and death. I gaze at her pitiful form. The woman is totally silent. The only sound is that of rushing blood. Then her back splits open. In a single moment, a fountain of blood erupts. The vampire sighs in relief as he bathes in the scarlet shower. Now this really is a monster here. In an instant, everything around me changes. The sweltering temperature finally seems to match up with reality. A dam of fire bursts, flooding out all at once. The hallway is absolutely enveloped by flames. The heat presses against me, singeing and stinging at my skin like claws. If I were to take a breath now, I'd surely burn my lungs. But something is strange here. The flames continue licking at their surroundings, and yet the building isn't on fire. As the only thing still alive here, I am the only one left to feel this inferno. My headache intensifies. The man begins walking my way. It's clear that he's the source of this river of flames. The closer he gets, the more terrible the heat becomes. He's still 15 meters away from me, but even at this distance, it's impossible for me to breathe. I realize that nothing could survive in this man's vicinity. The proximity alone would lead to certain incineration. The shadow continues onwards in my direction. He's lean and tall, wearing antiquated clothes topped by a heavy fur cloak. Though his figure may be human-like, everything about him screams that he's anything but. There's something off about him. Something wild and crazed. Only 13 meters now. He continues without a sound. No talking? Nope. Just vampire aura and fire. I glare at the man, knife firmly in hand. He doesn't respond. I'm starting to wonder if he can even see me. 10 meters. I train my eyes on his body. Amid the rising flames, I can finally see the lines of death that cover him. Okay, so there are some. That's good. Among something else there. My brain feels like soup boiling over an open flame. What is that? A dense and intricate torrent of death swirls at the center of it all. And at the center of torrent is an odd glimmer, bright and shiny like a precious jewel. Is that his core? His vampire core? My head hurts too much to keep staring at it. It's like how staring straight into the sun will burn your retinas. There's no way I can directly stare at his core for too long. If I don't steel myself, my brain itself might rupture at the sight of it. 8 meters. He draws ever closer. The temperature rises, though not enough to cook through human flesh yet. 6 meters. The man stops. His focus falls on me. It took him this long to notice me standing here. I meet his gaze. So, some of the lines here have a little bit of blue mixed in. I shouldn't make eye contact. Arcuid's words of warning ring clearly in my ears. But I can't tear my eyes away. I can't ignore the abyss before me. He's different. His eyes can't be the mystic eyes that Arcuid was talking about. These are entirely fundamentally different. They aren't eyes that bind the viewer. They're just filled with madness, The eyes of one who has lost his mind, a madman, a poor, hapless man driven crazy by his own impulses. A man just like me. Still no words here, he's just all action. And aura. My instincts scream at me to get out of danger. Every alarm in my body tells me that this is bad news. But my body won't move. Not even as much as a single fingertip. Danger signals fire through my synapses. No matter the cost, I have to get away from him. If I don't, it'll be the end for me. But I'm too late. The creature with sickly eyes stares at me, but barely pays me any notice. From its outstretched hand unfolds a fire that'll burn me alive. I'm going to die. This fire is as real as it is terrifying. Different from the blue flames that flooded the hall, there was some sort of byproduct, an effect to his cause. They could swallow you alive, but you wouldn't die immediately. They would scorch you with some awful phantom pain that feeds off life itself. But these flames are different. Just getting close is enough to char the skin, enough to burn all organic matter to ashes. The fire engulfs me from all sides like a claw seizing its prey. It will cleave my body in two, neatly cauterizing the flesh where it is ripped apart. The only thing more real than this fire is my fate. Yet just before I die... There she is. My body is flung backwards with a snap. Yeah, she can handle the flames. The name creaks from my throat. My mind goes blank. I have a rough understanding of what just transpired. Arcuid pulled me back before stepping in front of me to absorb the blow from that sinister fiery hand. But what I don't understand is why she did it. Wasn't I supposed to be her shield? So why is she getting hurt to protect me instead? Arcuid's face scrunches up in pain. The man hits her with the flaming claw again and again. But this time she doesn't have to pull me out of that fire's way. Arcuid swings her right hand like she did in the alley, batting the flames away. But she's unable to extinguish the flames entirely, and the lingering embers strike her head on. Does that mean even Arcuid could be burned if she took the full brunt of these flames? Are they hot enough to kill even her? This woman with barely any lines on her, who's supposed to be so far removed from death? The entire clash lasts less than 5 seconds. The two exchange a dozen blows each way. I don't understand why, but when they're done, the man solemnly lowers his arm. He stares at Arcuid intently, not saying a single word. Arcuid glares back bitterly as she clutches at her red abdomen. The man has eyes for nothing but Arcuid. He doesn't even care that I'm here, safe behind Arcuid's protective figure clutching a knife. Vapor slips from the man's lips. His breath is heavy, like it's being pushed through an exhaust pipe as he reaches with his left hand to find something beneath his coat. I hear a faint metallic clink. It's got to be some kind of blade. He's hiding a long object beneath his coat, the same object he used to rend through the back of that woman and turn her into a fountain of blood. He takes one step closer to Arcuid. His weapon is still carefully concealed beneath his coat. I was beginning to think he couldn't talk. The man stops in his tracks. A light flickers behind his hollow eyes, as if he's only just remembering himself. I don't even know what language Arcuid used, but the man clears his throat, composing himself. His voice carries a current of pain, like he had forgotten he were a living being until just now. There's that voice. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this last episode or the episode before. This voice actor here, I've heard him in a few roles. God damn, is he good at what he does.
礼儀はなっていないけど、恥だけは足りているようね。元の名前は失った。か。でも呼び名ぐらいはあるでしょ。継いだばかりのようだけど、仮にもその一角なんだから。
The atmosphere in the hall shifts. The azure flames well up all around the corridor, burning even brighter. It looks like RQ had hit a sore spot. A pained expression paints his face. What a lovely name. He declares his name.
知らない名前。私が記録していない以上、正当な後継者とも思えない。もしかして親は自滅？
そうではない。ご当主は俺が仕留めた。
なったばかりの祖ってこと？じゃあ次は私を殺して箔をつけたい？
名誉は己の胸にあるものだ。俺は俺が欲しいものしか奪わない。
心構えは立派だけど、それなら私だけに絞りなさい。これはちょっとやりすぎよ。
いや、この都市は汚れている。
Tainted?
焼き尽くさなければ俺の心情に戻る。
あっそう。つまり蛮族同然の三流使徒だったわけ。
ソヤであることは自覚している。神祖の姫、その心臓を俺によこせ。
The area around Vlov twists with the simmering heat. Like a river bursting through its banks, the fire rushes in our direction. Arcuid stands in front of me like a breakwater, holding back the flood from swallowing me whole.
動かないでシキ。この炎があいつの武器。
Yeah, no shit.
消し済みになりたくなかったら、私の後ろから離れないで。
I appreciate her warning, but something about her words strikes me as odd. This is his weapon? Is she really sure about that? I mean, after creating these high temperatures, he's still... No. This isn't the time to be thinking about that. Focusing, I tightly grip the knife in my hand. He's coming. The hallway is now a cavern of flame. Vlov pulls the blade from his coat. I hope I'm saying his name somewhat okay. And he's dipping out? For some strange reason, Vlov suddenly turns his back towards us. He strides down the hall and leisurely enters the elevator, leaving us behind as if nothing had happened. Okay, now I officially don't understand a goddamn thing. I don't understand those dogs, I don't understand the flames that covered the hallway, and I don't understand the waking nightmare that attacked the hotel. Arcuid slumps against me with a thud. She's got a nasty wound. It looks like she managed to stop the bleeding, but her face is contorted in pain. It's still fresh. After all, she only just received the wound while she was shielding me from certain death.
そうだよ。お前。
ちょっと甘く見てた。あれくらいならシキを助けて、私も軽くかわせると思ったんだけど。さすがだね、シキ。シキにやられた傷、そんなに甘くなかったみたい。
With her face still scrunched up in pain, Arcuid smiles as if she were amused by her own words. I can't bear to look at her. Not only did she suffer the wound while protecting me, I'm the reason that she's this weak in the first place. So why is she still smiling at me so stupidly? How am I even supposed to respond? Arcuid leans against me, pulling her weight on my shoulder as she closes her eyes.
ちょっと待て。何目を閉じてるんだ、バカ。しっかりしろ。お前は夜なら死なない吸血鬼なんだろ。
でも私なんだか限界みたい。悪いんだけど部屋まで連れ帰っておいて。
Do we even want to stay in this building? Arcuid collapses against me. I manage to catch her just in time, arms wrapped tight around her slender body.
ちょっと待ってくれ。そんな。
If you die on me here, I'll really have no idea how to respond.
ダメだ。起きろ、アルクエイド。
I shout at her, shivering. Her eyes remain closed. When... Oh, she's just sleeping. Her soft snoring sounds so content, I'm starting to feel like an idiot for being worried about her at all. Yeah, my concern was wasted on her. She's not dying, she just fell asleep.
部屋まで連れてけって、また勝手なこと言いやがって。
It's not like there's any other option, though. We can't exactly stay at this hotel when it's like this. Things will get difficult if we stick around the scene of a massacre. Despite everything being limited to just the hotel, as morning comes and people arrive, it'll quickly be clear what happened. Yeah, let's put the glasses back on. My head still hurts. Arcuid isn't the only one who's at her limit. I put my glasses back on to at least alleviate my headache.
アルクエイドの部屋って、あそこか。
Even though I've only visited once, I still vividly recall its location. Well, no point loitering here any longer. I gather up our things from the royal suite, pull Arcuid into my arms, and leave the barren hotel with a feeling of shame pressing down on my shoulders. Yeah, people straight up died here. That's for darn certain. So we're just gonna go back to the previous hotel? I don't know if that's gonna work out so well for us in the long run, but I guess it's a short-term solution. It's already light outside.
そうか。そういうことか。
That explains why the man left so suddenly. The sun illuminates the city with its gentle light. Night has given way to day. For now, I should just focus on getting Arcuid the rest that she needs. Taking a taxi is out of the question. We stand out. If a pair this suspicious got into your car, you'd definitely remember their faces. Probably would deny some service, too. Instead, I carry Arcuid as far from the hotel as I can before boarding a bus bound for Soya Station. We're lucky. Given the early hour, there are no witnesses or curious onlookers to point their gaze at us. We keep getting away from, like, these crime scenes. It's crazy. The emergency exit around the back is exactly like I left it 2 days ago. Neither the residents nor the building's caretakers must have noticed the lock was broken. It's 6:30 in the morning now. I sneak into the self-proclaimed vampire's room just like I did the last time. Finally, this long mess of a day can be laid to rest. Can it really, though? And what do we do now? We are really backed into a corner because this is definitely not our only enemy. We've got a lot of small fry that can do some serious damage, and we've got others that have different abilities than this guy. And I know that because, well, Shiki has been hit with one of those abilities prior, and it allowed him to, you know, just straight up kill Arcuid once already. Well, we're not done with the fire and blood, it seems. We're going to be seeing this guy again soon. But now what, you know? This is a nice little place here. Arcuid's room doesn't exactly scream vampire. There's a lot about her that doesn't exactly scream vampire. I wasn't in a right state of mind last time, so I didn't get a good look. But it's just a normal apartment. There isn't a bottle of blood in sight. No mysterious sculptures or antiques either.
冷蔵庫に食器まで完備してるし、何なんだろうな、こいつ。
I mutter to myself as I lay her down on the bedsheets. Arcuid might be light, but that doesn't make it any less exhausting to have to carry her all the way here. I plant myself right there on the floor and catch my breath. It's just about 7 o'clock.
そっか。 カーテン閉めてやらないと。
It's not like she's gonna burn up or anything, but it probably will help. I force one last ounce of strength into my tired bones and shut the curtains. And with that, my body finally releases the tension that it'd been holding on to all this time. As I try to sit back down, my knees give out and send me crashing down onto the floor.
情けない。女の子一人運んだだけで。
Okay, that's not the only thing that you should be tired from. Come on now. Give yourself, some credit here. Ever since the accident, my body's just been slow to heal from injuries. Though that was never cause for me to shy away from working out. The Arimas had a dojo, so I always made sure to exercise as much as I could. Even a common cold can be dangerous if you don't take care of yourself. But since I've kept active, I'd say I'm about as fit as anyone. It's just my stamina that's awful. Like an athlete geared for a single sport, I'm a sprinter that isn't going to be winning any marathons. Now that I'm lying on the ground, there's no way I'm getting up again. I spent the entire night talking to Arcuid, and it's been a full day since I had anything decent to eat. It's kind of amazing that I've managed to hold out this long, frankly. She'll be okay. She's just snoozing. I steal a glance at the girl on the bed. Her abdomen seems to have stopped bleeding, and if she can come back to life after being dismembered, I'm not really sure I need to be so worried in the first place. Good question. My head throbs like I have a fever. I'm so tired I can barely breathe, yet here I am, more worried about her than about myself. Maybe I really am coming down with something. Ligma, some call it. When are we ever going back home? When are we going back to school? I understand that his life has been completely flipped, like crazily upside down, but a lot of time is passing here. Okay. You have a TV on or something? I guess I was tired enough to pass out right here on the floor. It looks like someone opened the curtains and covered me with a blanket while I was still snoozing. I'd wager it's past noon by now. The TV is switched on and playing the same old news in the background. I look to the bed, but I don't see Arcuid. Damn, this really is a nice room. I prop myself up to get a better look around. There's a hint of movement coming from the kitchen in the next room. I shrug off the blanket as I lurch to my feet. I'd better head to the kitchen and check on her wounds. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, there's still some flames going on. I freeze in place. My gaze is drawn back to the newscast. Now, what a tragedy all that was. The news anchor continues droning on about the details in a detached voice. A list of 200 names scrolls across a photo of the hotel that we stayed at last night. Neither Arcuid's nor my name is listed. I mean, anybody that was, there probably could have, seen that something was odd. Something was irregular with how that fire started. And we know that as well. I turn off the TV. 200 guests remain unaccounted for. They have yet to find any survivors. If they already know what they know, why hold out on telling everyone the truth? that every last person in the hotel was engulfed by those insane flames and burned to a crisp, leaving nothing behind. There's some that are probably just gone, like they don't exist anymore. They were eaten up and shit by monsters. I resist the urge to hurl. I can't, not here, not now. Simply feeling sick would make me no better than swine. After coming out of that alive, the only thing I should let myself feel is hatred. 200 people. 200 people of whom not a trace remains, who were massacred without a shred of sympathy or mercy. His face flares vividly in my mind. I don't know who he is. All I know is that he's the monster behind the carnage. Is my heart numb from all the things I saw? Fear still courses through my veins. Anger too, boiling around like a snake. Yet my thoughts remain cool and collected. It's like my brain and my heart are working on two different frequencies. Just thinking about that fur-clad man makes me want to rage. Yet my fingertips tingle with alertness, primed for action. I don't need emotions to know what to do. I don't need fire or heat or passion. All I need to do is cleanly cut through his lines.
気がついたの、シキ。
Yeah, we are, and you are very much alive. Arcuid pokes her head out from the kitchen.
怖い顔しちゃって何かあった？
Arcuid talks to me casually like nothing happened.
いや別におはよう。
おはよう。朝の挨拶をするなんて珍しい経験で。
Her sweet smile takes me by surprise, and I need to swallow hard to even out my breathing. The cold thoughts of vengeance that clog my mind melt like snow before the sun. What am I even thinking about? Get it together, Shiki. The whole reason you got up in the first place was to check on Arcuid.
アルクエイド、傷はいいのか？
傷？ええ、とりあえず問題ないわ。
Sorry, I was getting a drink. All this talking, man, it's killing my throat. Arcuid seems to be just fine. And it looks like she's back to the way she was before. If anything, she's definitely looking better than I'm feeling right about now.
そうか。それならよかった。
At least the person in my immediate vicinity is safe. What the hell am I talking about? Arcuid isn't even a person. At least not in the usual sense. How did I forget that? I must still be half asleep.
でもまあ、いいことには変わりはないよな。お前の傷、大したことじゃなかったんだから。
へえ、どうしたのよ、シキ。ちょっと前までは私のこと化け物呼ばわりしてたくせに。
あのな、ちょっと前までじゃなくて、今でもそう思ってる。
Now, we work together pretty well out
でもそれと
there.
これとは別問題だろ。
It's pretty good.
助けたって私がシキを？
Arcuid's eyes are wide with surprise. Did she not even realize that she rescued me?
そうだよ。お前は俺を助けてくれたんだよ。だから、今更だけど、かばってくれてありがとう。お前に引っ張られなかったら、俺も焼け死んでいたところだ。
ありがとうって。別にいいよ、そんなこと考えなくて。シキがブローブと出会った原因は私にあるんだし、シキに感謝される資格はないもの。
助けられたのも事実だろう。アルクエイドは俺をかばってくれた。その点だけは本当に感謝してる。
確かに事実だけ見ればそうだけど、やっぱりそれは違うよ、シキ。見張り役を引き受けなければあなたはあんな目には合わなかった。
Okay, you kind of forced us into that position, though.
シキの生活に毒を混ぜたのは私よ。あなたは私を憎みこそすれ、感謝するのは間違ってるんじゃない？
Arcuid has gotten weirdly caught up on this.
間違ってないよ。自分の行動は自分で責任を持つしかない。ずっと昔にそういうことを教えてくれた人がいたんだ。周りがどうあれ、自分が望んでやったことは自分の手で決着をつけなさいって。
Which is why I don't hold the slightest grudge against her over the whole guard thing either. If there's anyone to blame for getting me into this mess, it's myself.
そっか。 言われてみれば盾が必要になったのはシキが私を殺したからだものね。ならあなたを巻き込んだことについて私が謝る必要はないってこと？
Hey, you do you.
ああ、そういうこと。自業自得なんだよ、今の俺は。
自業自得か。うん、シキってば初めから運が悪かったのね。
Yeah.
人を殺すにしたって私以外の子にしておけばこんなことにはならなかっただろうし。
あのな。
That's assuming I would have killed someone else at all. It's not like I make a habit out of stalking people down the street and murdering them. Arcuid was the first and only person for whom I ever felt that uncontrollable urge to kill. And I have a feeling I wouldn't just feel that for anyone else.
何？忘れ物でも思い出したの？
いや、忘れ物というか、なんていうか。
Oh my god, we're finally talking about
どうし
this.
て俺はお前を殺そうなんて思ったんだろう。
We're finally talking about the huge elephant in the room that has been ignored for so long now. Arcuid knits her brows in disapproval. A fair reaction. You wouldn't want to hear that your murderer doesn't even know why they had killed you.
理由なんてないんじゃない？だってシキは根っからの殺人鬼なんだから。
は？
私を襲った時なんてすごく手慣れていたものね。チャイムを押して扉が開いた瞬間に手を差し込んできて有無を言わさず中に押し入る。こっちが驚いている間に初撃で生命活動を停止させて、あとはザックザクに切り裂いてバラバラにする。あの不意打ちは完璧だった。どのくらい完璧だったかっていうと、あの時の式をそのままキャンバスに閉じ込めればそれ以上はないほどの絵になるぐらい完璧だった。私がまだ正常なままだったらお城に持ち帰って飾ってあげたいぐらい。
Arcuid excitedly rattles off a litany of bizarre praise. Well, she's pretty bizarre, you know. It makes sense, but there's just one issue.
けど今回は殺した相手が悪かったわね。
Yeah, tell me about it.
シキが今まで何人殺してきたかは知らないけど、獲物に私を選んだ時点で年貢の納め時だったんじゃない？何よ、さっきから怖い顔して。言いたいことがあるならはっきり言えばいいのに。私とあなたの間で今さら我慢することなんてないでしょ？
How right she is. I nod and beckon her to come closer.
何？内緒話？
Arcuid closes the gap between us quickly, eyes sparkling with anticipation. I bring my lips to her ear and decide to say my piece.
あのな、アルクエイド。
何？
1, 2...
そんなわけないだろ、このバカ女！
My voice echoes throughout the apartment. I blasted Arcuid's eardrums with all the volume I could muster. Arcuid groans as she makes a big show of clutching her ear.
もう、頭きた！突然何するのよ、シキ！
怒りたいのはこっちの方だ！なんか微妙にめちゃくちゃな注文してきやがるかと思えば、お前、そういうことだったのか。
え？そういうことって何？
俺をイカれた殺人鬼だと思い込んで、化け物相手に盾になれとか見張りをやれとか無茶な注文をしてきたことだよ。ああ、もうとんでもない勘違いをしやがって。
No, he really is just an unfortunate student. An unfortunate, ordinary student.
いいか、この際言っておくけど、俺は殺人鬼でも殺人狂でもない。人を殺すなんてお前が初めてだったんだから。
Or the second. I still really wonder about that flashback we've gotten a couple of times. My confession must have come as quite the surprise. Her sheer shock makes me finally realize how extraordinary it was that I murdered her.
嘘。あんなに手慣れてて、あれが初めてだったっていうの、シキ。
Because that wasn't really us.
そうだよ。こんなおかしな目を持ってるけど、俺だってそれなりに この線を使って人を殺したいなんて思ったことは一度もない。
ふん。それじゃあどうして見ず知らずの私を殺したりしたのよ。
だからそれが。
I'm about to tell her I don't know, but pause as I realize just what a coward I am. I mean, I've brought up my predictions
あの
before.
時俺はお前と街ですれ違った途端吐きそうなぐらい気になって。
From the second I saw her, I can only think of her snow white form. I couldn't stop the lust welling up beneath my skin, nor the vulgar grin that crept across my face as I chased her down.
俺はそのまま
Still, what a horrific sight. I am very surprised this is in the game.
気がついたら君を
Right here in this room, without any rhyme or reason, I chopped up that beautiful figure and stood in the puddle of her bloody remains.
そうか。
Strength evaporates from my body. No longer able to stand, I drop to my knees. Of course. I don't have any right to be angry with Arcuid. Even if she's alive now, even if she was never human to begin with. The fact remains that I killed her with my own two hands.
何よ、またいきなり黙っちゃって。そうかって何がそうなの、シキ。
だからごめんって。
I've been using how weird this all is to avoid doing something incredibly important. Apologizing? Yeah, there it is.
ごめんなアルクエイド。俺は君をここで殺した。俺は何よりそのことを。
No wonder Arcuid thought I was just some cold-blooded killer. Without showing any guilt or remorse, I've been acting like I was the victim. Not just that. Even now, I still don't know why.
殺したのは事実なんだ。だから俺は罰を受けないといけない。こんな人殺しみんなの社会に混ぜるわけにはいかないだろう。
What I did was beyond evil. A person who decides to take a life without reason doesn't deserve to walk free.
そう。シキは本当に自分でも理由がわからないのね。
I nod, still hanging my head.
つまり楽しいとも感じなかったってことでしょ。
Yeah, I don't really know who gets enjoyment from that.
うん。確かに殺人鬼の中には息をするみたいに人を殺すやつもいるけど、シキは普段はまともっぽいよね。
そうだな。一応そのつもりだけど。
いいえ、まっとうすぎるぐらいまともよ。それで殺したくなったのは私だけなの？
ああ、アルクエド以外にはそんな気持ちにはならなかった。
なんだ、なら問題ないじゃない。ほら、顔を上げてシキ。あなたは殺人鬼なんかじゃないよ。
I lift my head, as if I've been forgiven. Arcuid is smiling, brimming with such confidence and trust that it startles me. I killed her, but she believes in me more than I believe in her.
それに何の罰も受けなくていいと思う。たまたまシキが殺したいって思った相手が私で、厄介なことにシキにはこれ以上ない殺人技巧が備わっていた。けど都合のいいことに私が吸血鬼だったんだから、誰も死んでないでしょ。だからシキがそんなに悩む必要はないよ。人間たちの社会の道徳も気にしなくていいと思う。人間にあなたは弾劾できない。だって今のところ世界でシキを責めていいのは被害者である私と当事者であるシキ本人だけなんだから。
You know, the law is the law, obviously. You're not supposed to go around killing a person. That's typically against a law in, like, any country, but there's also the morals and ethics that you are raised by. So, yeah, he's probably not going to jail for something that kinda didn't happen, and there's also the whole vampire thing here. But it's something that he has to live with for the rest of his life, having gone through that.
それはそうだけど、お前を殺したっていう事実だけは決して 変わらないじゃないか。
Even if what Arcuid says is true, even if there's no proof that any crime occurred, I'm still going to carry this sin with me forever.
それは当然よ。私だってまだ根に持ってるんだから。そうだけどね、シキ。ちゃんとあなた本人がそう思えてずっと後悔していくんなら問題はないんじゃない？
I would just be cheating my way out, though.
シキ、人間の中にはね、どんなに世の中を恨んでいても悪魔に魂を売れない人がいるわ。例えば吸血鬼相手にごめんなさいなんて言える正直者とかね。だから大丈夫。誰が何て言ったってシキ本人がそうじゃないって言い切ったってシキは
I'm at a loss for words. How can she say such kind, reassuring words to the man who murdered her?
ほら、そんなことより私たちにはもっと厄介な問題があるでしょ。シキの目も覚めたんだし、今後のことを話し合いたいんだけど。
Uh-oh.
あ、
It's like someone flipped a switch. One moment Arcuid is cheerfully chattering away, and the next she's on the ground.
アルクエド。
Yeah, she was putting on a face, wasn't she? I rushed to her side.
参ったな。やっぱりまだ無理みたい。
Her breathing is labored, and beads of sweat glisten across her brow. My eyes wander to her abdomen, where the slightest trace of red has started to seep through her white sweater.
お前、この傷。
That's the one she incurred while protecting me in the hotel.
ブローブに裂かれたところね。シキにやられたせいで治りが遅くなってるだけよ。とりあえず傷口だけは塞いでおいたんだけど、あんまり効果はなかったみたい。
Her tone is still cheery as ever, but I notice an undercurrent of pain is shuddering around the edges.
塞いでおいたって何で？
それ。
Arcuid gestures at a brown object dropped haphazardly on the wooden floor. At a glance, I mistake it for a small ring cake, but upon closer inspection, I realize it's packing tape? Are you fucking kidding me? She tried... Oh my god.
バカも休み休みにしろ！ガムテープで傷口を縛るやつがどこにいるってんだ！
もう、あんまり人のことバカバカ連呼しないでよ。
Well...
なんだか本当にそうなのかなって考えちゃうじゃない。
I think you might need to start...
うるさい！いいから傷口を見せろ！
I reach out a hand to lift her shirt, and... Arcuid quickly steps away from me, dropping backwards onto the bed with a soft thud.
ふざけるな。傷口が開いたらどうするつもりだ？
いいよ、こんなの放っておいたって。シキこそバカな真似はやめてよね。女の子の服を剥ごうなんて人よりタチが悪いわよ。
あのな、俺はお前を人間として見てないんだから。
Wow, not even a
男も女もないだ
woman?
ろ。
Come on. She doesn't have to be a human to be a woman.
ほら、いいからおとなしくしてろ。俺をかばった傷で死なれたら一生負い目ができちまう。
Arcuid pouts and glares at me for a moment, but ultimately rolls over on the bed in my direction. Her lips still firmly shut, she gets back on her feet with childlike reluctance. She's sulking about, but it looks like she'll at least let me take a look.
よし。どんな手当てをしたのか、ちょっと見せてみろ。
Oh my god. You have got to be shitting me. That is awful. Arcuid lifts her sweater to reveal her abdomen.
But...
I have to resist the urge to go off on a tirade again. The tape is tightly wrapped around not just her wound, but her entire abdomen. The second she lowers her shirt again, I pull Arcuid up into my arms.
何するのよ、シキ。
ベッドに寝かすんだよ。病院に連れて行きたいのは山々だけど、そういうわけにはいかないだろう。
I place her back onto the bed as gently as I can.
いいか、俺が戻ってくるまで絶対に動き回るなよ。さっきみたいに歩き回ったら、お前のことなんて忘れてさっさと逃げるからな。
Yeah, you're not doing that. I quickly scan the room. Not a first aid kit or even a bandage in sight. Guess you don't need any of that when you can revive whenever you want to. And hell, this might be the first time she's ever needed medical treatment. I feel around to check how much I have on me. 2,000 yen in cash, not a lot.
いや、見栄を張ってる場合じゃない。アルクエド、お前金持ちだって言ったよな。
うん。お金には不自由してないけど、それが何よ。
現金でもカードでもとにかく貸してくれ。お前に効果があるかどうかはわからないけど、最低限の手当てぐらいしよ
う。Yeah, better than packing tape.
いいけど、無駄かもしれないよ。
無駄でもやるんだ。そのまま放っておけるもんか。
わかった。私も体の作りそのものはシキたちと同じなんだし、それなりに意味はあるかもしれないし。
Arcuid holds out a wad of 10,000 yen bills in front of me. I'm not even going to ask where she pulled this stack of bills from.
お前は黙って横になってろ。あ、でも眠っちゃダメだからな。横になってもちゃんと起きてるんだぞ。
シキ、すごく無茶な注文してるよ。それ。
無茶だけどやれ。眠ると体の機能は低下する。免疫力とか抵抗力な。なんで、傷が塞がっていないまま寝るとますます悪化するんだそうだ。睡眠で回復するのは頭の疲れだけで、傷や病気は治してくれないだろう。だからとりあえず手当てをするまでは起きていた方がいい。へえ、
それってその通りよ。
あのさ、なんで笑うんだよそこで。
だってシキが頼りになるんだもん。
Yeah, we can kill her and we can treat her. She must have a screw loose somewhere. But I keep from saying anything. I need to get back to the job at hand. I leave her bedroom and remove my bloodstained jacket before I head out. Time to go shop. Why are we getting cut off? Wait, what? Something in the kitchen catches my eye as I head for the exit.
飯だ。
Sitting on the table is a meal, or rather a plate of food. Maybe a mishmash of ingredients would be more accurate. At the very least, I think it was something that was supposed to resemble food. This must be why Arcuid was in the kitchen earlier. She said she normally doesn't eat anything, so I don't exactly need to guess who was preparing all this food for, or who she was preparing all this food for.
もう、なんなんだ、あいつ。
Good question. All right, guys, we gotta wrap it up here. This was quite the lengthy recording session, actually. This will be a couple of episodes. But wow, what a crazy, course of events. It's really hard to put it into words. I do think Arcuid, like I'm getting more and more used to her character. I am enjoying her character, but also definitely worrying for her character. Like, how the hell is she even here today? But somehow she is. I mean, circumstances aside, things are weird. But yeah, we survived our first encounter with the enemy, our first fight, if you will, against the enemy at hand here throughout this story, I'm assuming. And I feel like we're really backed into a corner here. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how we'll go against everything here. But thank you all for tuning in to these 2 episodes here. I hope you guys enjoyed them. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.